What up my people, welcome to another tutorial. On this tutorial I'm going to go straight to the point to just talk about how I was able to achieve this my vocal cord and how to make your vocal sound really nice. But before I go deep into it, let me just do a snippet of the song and so you're able to understand how I was able to achieve this mix, and also show you the plugins I use and also my vocal chain. Let's go.
Do you know this nigga? Iko Atimba Ghetto boy bossy me now. Yeah Adimba say my music mystical. Yeah Adimba smoother than a criminal. Yeah Adimba I am Badaramba.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure you you guys will be able to hear how crispy, clean and sweet the vocal sound. Yeah, without wasting much time, let me just go into it proper. So on my chain here, the first thing I love to use is I love using this NSI mono from Wave. That's what it does. It's like a gate. It just takes out those bad frequency, the noise that comes with the recording. That's if the recording is not clean enough, but this recording is pretty clean. I just still added it to just filter a little. So I made it to 30, the gauge here. I fixed it at 30. That's just the only thing I did here. So moving to the second plugin, the next plugin I'm slamming on it is my Waves real time. So before you be able to use autotune, I'm sure you know the key of your beat. If you don't know the key of your instrumental, it will be very, very difficult to get the autotune right. You need to know the key and also the chord. So to get it is pretty simple, and there's some applications you can use. There are some plugins you can also use to help you get it, but I don't want to go into that now. I just want to explain my vocal chain. So this Afrobeat, I love using heavy autotune on Afrobeat, so I left it in 10 the transition, and I fixed it in 10 here because I was looking at the gauge when, let me show you what I was looking at that made me fix it at this tenor. I was looking at the vocal gauge when he was singing.
Ghetto boy bossy me now. Yeah Adimba say my music mystical.
You can see the vocal was just around here. That's why I fixed that tenor. So that's just the way I do my own. You can also develop your own way of doing it. So the key is C minor. So that's the autotune. That's for the autotune. Well, before I start working on my vocal, I love taking out bad frequencies first. That's why I use this denoiser first to remove the background noise. Added my autotune. Then what I started to do is to take out the bad frequency. I put in my EQ and I just start listening for those bad frequency. I just trim them down. So all these ones I'm taking down here are bad frequencies. Let me play it and I'll just bypass this EQ so you'll be able to hear how it sounds before I slammed this EQ on it.
Ghetto boy bossy me now. Yeah Adimba say my music mystical. Yeah Adimba smoother than a criminal.
Well, let me solo only the chorus so you'll be able to hear. Let me solo the chorus.
Ghetto boy bossy me now. Yeah say my music mystical. Yeah smoother than a criminal. Yeah I am Badaramba and the matter don't cast. I'm a man of one.
Sorry, I was making a mistake. My other plugins was on. Yeah, let me take them off. So I just want you guys to pay attention to EQ, because when mixing, EQ is very, very important. There are some things you can do without. There are some vocals that you don't even need to compress. Yeah, but EQ plays a very, very vital role in mixing. So I just want you guys to listen to it. So I've taken the other plugins off.
Ghetto boy boss see me now. Yeah. Say my music mystical. Yeah. Smoother than a criminal. Yeah. I am bad, and the matter don't cast.
Yeah, you can hear how clean and how upfront the vocal became when I added this EQ. Yeah, when I activate this EQ, you can hear how clean the vocal became. So that's the power of EQ. EQ has a way of making your vocal sound pretty clean and just make it, like, how will I put it? It makes it sound nice. Makes it sound, it just takes out those bad I've not even added any, I've not boosted anything yet, but see how clean the vocal is sounding already. What I only did is just to take out those bad frequencies. I've not boosted anything yet, and the vocal is already sounding better. So the next thing I'm adding, like I said, I love taking out bad frequencies. After my EQ, after taking some part of the EQ out, the next thing I love slamming on is I love using this DSR from Waves. So what I just did here is I use this preset male-ish. I use this preset here male-ish. Then I just reduced this to -40. I was listening for those ish. Okay, let me play. So
and the matter don't cast. I'm a man of one gas. Oga bakatamba. And the matter don't cast. I'm a man. Oh boy, boss see me now. Yeah. Say my music mystical.
You can hear that when he said gas and when he said hear my see my music mystical or something. You can hear that mystica. You can hear how it was able to tame that sibilance that was there.
Ghetto boy boss see me now. Yeah. Say my music mystical.
So that's just the power of the SR, those SS and those sh. Yeah, but what I did here first was I did not just tame all the whole S and sh. What I wanted to tame here is just the sh sound first. That's what I wanted, like show any word that has SH in it. Yes, that's what I wanted to tame first. Why I love working like that is because when I start targeting those the S words, when I start targeting those S words is when I've boosted my EQ. Yeah, when I boost my EQ, that's when those sibilants that like the S's, that's when they comes up. Then I'll start taming them. So since I've not boosted that yet, I'm not taking this frequency high or making it tamper those ones that is for the S's. Yes. So after that, the next thing I added is my compressor. So I've taken out those bad frequencies. Now I'm adding my compressor to just make the vocal sound at the same volume. What compressor actually does is the lower part of your vocal, it takes it up, and the louder part of your vocal, it brings it down. So somehow compressor can work as a leveler, like just level and straighten your vocal. So here I'm using our compressor from Waves also. So here I just selected the preset, a smooth vocal. So the ratio, I left it in 2, while the threshold I took it down to -15. The attack, I left it in 3, the release 70 because I wanted a somehow slow release, because the song is not really a fast song. So
animata doncasto, amamano wanga so.
you can see when I bypass the plugin, the compressor, you can hear how the vocal started sounding off balance, but with the compressor I was able to tame it and make it sound equal. Yeah.
Animata doncasto, amamano wanga so.
Yeah, our vocal is already sounding good and we've not boosted anything yet. So since I'm done taking out those bad frequencies, the next thing I'm adding on here is my EQ again. So this one is SSL EQ, yeah, from Waves. Also, I love working with Waves plugin and Flp Filter plugin, but you can do it with any plugin of your choice. Mixing, the DAW is the same, the plugin you use is the same. It's just for you to understand the logic of what and where you are trying to boost. If you understand where I'm trying to boost here with any EQ, you can also achieve the same thing. So what I boosted here is the high frequency. I took it to 5. That's what I did here. And also I was able to boost the high mid frequencies too, because I'm trying to add that brightness to the mix. I'm trying to make the vocal sound crispy. I'm trying to make it sound clear, also trying to make it sit on the mix. So if you add this bright side of the vocal, you just have a way of making the vocal sit properly in the mix. So that's just what I did here. So I'm going to let me solo it so you hear it properly.
Animata doncasto, amamano wanga so, ogabaka tamba.
You can hear the clarity. You can hear the clarity. Just me boosting this high end, you can hear the clarity. So let me play it with the beat so you see what I'm talking about, how it was able to sit in the mix. It was able to stand. It was able to, this EQ made it to get more clearer. Okay. So the next thing I'm adding again is another EQ. This EQ F6 from Waves also. That's the next thing I'm adding. So here I just increased this bright side. That's what I did. I just increased this bright side. I think I increased it to around 9 dB. Yeah, I increased to around 9 dB. I know the boost is too much, but I was able to tame the boost using another de-esser. So since I've added 2 boosts, I've boosted here using this SSL EQ. I've boosted the high frequency and the high mid frequency here, and here also I'm boosting the high frequency here also. So the vocal will be sounding very, very bright, and there will be a lot of sibilants in it. So that is where that's where my second de-esser comes in. But let me bypass this F6 so you'll be able to hear what work was done there. You can hear how the vocal became more clear. Yeah, you can hear how the vocal became more clear and it was able to cut through the mix. So next thing I'm adding now is my de-esser. So this de-esser now I've moved it to male S. Before it was in male sh, like SHH. So now to male S, since I've boosted those high frequencies that will introduce those sibilants. So what I did is I moved it to -45 because I feel here was where I was able to tame those S's properly.
Oga Bakatamba.
So that's it on that side. Why my last plugin I'm adding on the vocal chain is CLA2 from Waves. So what this one does is just smoothing the vocal and makes it sit also in the mix. So what I'm using here is I just left this one in 45 while I took this one to 60. Let me show you. Let me bypass it so you'll be able to see or hear the work done on it. You can hear how this CLA was able to bring the vocal up. It was able to boost the vocal and makes it sound properly in the mix. So that's it on my vocal chain. So the next thing I added to make the vocal sound better is I used my parallel compression. Yeah, I've done a video on parallel compression. If you really want to know how to use it, there's a video on parallel compression. I'll add the link for you. I'll add a link here so you'll be able to see the video on parallel compression. So the next thing I'm adding is saturation. I'm using Fab filter saturation. So what I'm using here is I used a Gen 2 saturator. I moved it all the way to 100 here. So I'm adding this one as a parallel saturation also. So here what I just do is I'll just blend it to the mix, just like the way I did on my parallel compression when I explained the video. So if you watch that video, I believe you'll be able to understand how I was able to achieve all these parallel effects that is here. So the other one that also gave it a shine, I added high end. I will do a separate video on this explaining this high end. So but for now I don't want to go detail into that. So the other thing I'm adding that made it stand out is the reverb. Let me explain how I was able to get this reverb to sound properly.
Adimba, ghetto boy bossing na, yeah. Adimba, say my music mystical, yeah. Adimba, smoother than neck.
So what I did is Pro R, Fab filter Pro R. How was I able to get this number here? How was I able to get this number here? Well, let me show you how I was able to achieve that number there. There are two ways I love using my reverb. I love using 60,000 first. I can do this 60,000 divided by BPM 84. Then I multiply by 2 till I get how many quarter note I want. Multiply by 2 again. So that's 2857. But I wanted a longer reverb. So what I did is, instead of me using 60,000, hold on, let me clear this. Instead of me using 60,000, I used 75,000 divided by BPM. My BPM is 84. Then I multiply by 2. Then I multiply by 2 again. So this is 3571. That was how I was able to achieve this on on this reverb here, 3571. So, and again, how was I able to get this pre-delay? What I did on the pre-delay also is I'll just keep dividing this number by 2 till I get a figure that is lesser than 50. .9, that's 28. So I get a figure that is lesser than 50. 28. That was how I was able to achieve the pre-delay here also. So the next thing I'm adding, I've shown you how to get your right reverb calculation. So the next thing also I'm adding is I'm adding EQ, because I don't want my reverb to be everywhere. I just want my reverb to be in the center here. I want my reverb to sit in the center here. So you added my EQ, do a low cut, do a high cut. Then the next thing I'm adding also, I'm adding a de-esser. So it will just take away all those siblings on my reverb to give it a cleaner reverb. So, and also I'm now doing a sidechain compression. So I'm sidechaining this reverb. When my vocal comes on, it will reduce the reverb. When my vocals goes off, then the reverb will increase. Pardon me. So that's what sidechain compression does. So after adding that sidechain compression, what I added last is S1 imager from Waves. So what I wanted to use it to achieve is, I wanted to use it to achieve a how will I put it? I want the reverb to be very upfront, like it should be on the side of your headset. The both sides should come up full on both sides of your headsets. So that's why I added this imager. So all together with the reverb, it sounds like this.
Oh boy, bossy now. Yeah. Adimba, say my music mystical. Yeah. Adimba, smoother than a criminal. Yeah.
So, and also my delay, I'm sending the reverb. Hold on. Oh, I don't know why the delay don't want to click. Also on my delay, I'm sending the reverb to my delay. That's why it's sounding.
Atimba, ghetto boy bossy now. Yeah. Atimba, say my music mystical. Yeah. Atimba.
So guys, that's it on this mix. You can see on the delay, I'm sending the reverb also to the delay. So that's it on this mix. I believe you're able to learn one or two from it. If this video is anyhow helpful to you, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share this video, and comment if you want more tutorial, the things you want me to explain more. Just comment, I'll come in and assist the best way I can. So let's enjoy the song and listen to the mix.
Blessing on the full for my cup. Why you no go shoot me on my shot? See me, I'm like and I chose. On the low, I got a Ruko moving with me. Girl, let's see the life, now she want moving with me. When I knock from the back, they move and in. Yeah. Do you know this nigga? Yeah. Atimba.